Torn Brown Drywall Paper. It's something that plagues a lot of us. If you're doing drywall repairs, you're gonna come across this fairly often, and you really have to treat it.
Hey everybody, in part one of this video series on torn brown paper, I showed you why the torn brown paper happens a lot of times, and then I showed you what can happen if you don't treat it right. If you just simply try and coat right over the top of it, you'll often have these problems you see here. Now in this part, I'm just going to discuss how to coat these properly without making a big nasty hump like this picture here and leaving it looking like a professional did it, because you can do it if you follow these guidelines here.
Okay, for the next step in this procedure, what you want to do is coat these. You don't need to mesh tape them. So now what I'm going to use today is some 5-minute hot mud. We're just going to mix up a little bit. We don't need very much at all. I'll just dump a little of this in. Now if you guys are using hot mud, and by the way, hot mud refers to fast setting joint compound like on the screen here, I would recommend this 20-minute or this 45-minute, because you would need to be really fast at this, because 5-minute mud literally means you have 5 minutes of working time. It won't exactly set up in 5 minutes, but it's not much longer, 7-8 minutes, and it's going to be set up pretty hard. You don't want to end up with a bunch of that in your pan, hardening up, catching you off guard, because it is really hard to clean when it sets up. So you just mix this up a little bit, and you don't even have to get it perfectly smooth, because any lumps on there, you're going to work them out on the wall. Now, my general rule is your knife should be a fair amount wider than your repair, unless you're talking about like 16-inch holes or something. So we can, for this first coat, just put a little mud on and wipe it off. But if you just wipe it off, you tend to leave edges. So it's best to feather it. And by feathering, you bend your knife blade, go around the outside edge, and you see how that softened up those edges. Now lay your knife down fairly steeply. If you stand it up too much, you're going to wipe it all back off. If you lay it down so much that your knuckles are dragging, that's probably too much. And then you put a decent amount of pressure on it and just go across it like this. Now all you want is just enough on there to cover that spot. You don't want to build up. I see too many people putting it on more like this, more or less, and then trying to sand it smooth. That's a bad idea. Watch my video number 1. It's called Biggest Mistakes Number 1. It'll teach you more about this. So I'm going to take a little more off of there, so you can just see the brown paper coming through. Hot mud sands really hard, so the last thing I want to do is have to sand this. Then we're going to follow that up with a coat of regular all-purpose mud like this +3, and then we can sand that. But we got to extend it each time. Now, in that number 1, or Biggest Mistakes Number 1 video, one of the things I talk about is how a wider knife will give you a smoother finish, and it definitely will. So watch that video, learn how to use the wider knife right. Hey, a little word of advice here. If you wash this hot mud out in your kitchen sink, be sure that you follow it with lots of water. The reason is, I learned my lesson one time. I was washing my tools up in somebody's sink, and after a while the water wouldn't flow, and I was rinsing it. I thought I was breaking it down into nothing but just a milky, watery mess, but the powdery part was settling in the bottom of their P-trap, and it will harden underwater. So pretty soon it clogged up their P-trap. I had to go buy them a new P-trap and install it. So ever since then, I flushed it really well, never had another problem. Hey, while this mud's setting up, I want to tell you I'm also releasing an ebook in the next month or two. It's going to help you pick out and understand drywall tools, all the finishing tools, hanging tools. I'll explain them all. I'll explain the terminology. I'll give you examples of budget, mid-grade, and top quality and explain if you might need those, or maybe you can get by with the budget. So there's going to be a lot of good information in there. It's going to be about 100+ pages, and you can pre-order that now if you're interested by checking out the description down below. Now, a fan would speed this up a little bit more. Now, can you do all these coats with just regular all-purpose? Sure. And you can use the green label all-purpose on here. It's fine. It just sands a little bit harder than the +3 that I use, but it's a good product. So you can just do all of the coats with regular all-purpose. Save a little bit of money, don't have to buy the hot mud. The advantage to hot mud is that it doesn't shrink as much, but we're putting it on thin here, so that's irrelevant. And if you're going over mesh tape, you have to use hot mud. Do not put all-purpose over mesh tape, because it'll crack. Not every time, but I've had it happen. I've proved it. It will crack a lot more, so don't do that. The other primary reason is speed. Normally you're gonna put a coat of mud on here and wait like an hour for a thin coat and maybe overnight for a thicker coat before you can recoat it with this 5-minute. In about 7 or 8 minutes, I can coat it again. 20-minute, I wait about 25, 27, 28 minutes, and I can recoat it again. So I can put 3 or 4 coats on if I need to. Okay, now it's been about 7 or 8 minutes, not much more. Here's the little leftover piece I had, and you can see it's hard enough to coat now. Now note that if you are putting hot mud on raw drywall, paper, mud, etc., and it extends onto a painted surface, it will take about 50% longer to set up on the painted side because it's not pulling the moisture out to help activate it. So you can see here, it's still soft. We can dig into it easily, but it's totally set up, so we can go ahead and coat it. Now, if you coated this and you didn't do it quite right and you left a line, which I don't have any here to show you, but if you have a lap mark like this one, this is a big one, but even if you have a small one, the way you do wet hot mud is you stand your knife straight up and down, then you just drag it across the surface and it will just shave off the high points. So we're ready to just go ahead and put some regular all-purpose on here. Okay, now like I say, I want to extend it each time, so I'm going to use a 10-inch knife this time. You can use a 12 or an 8 even. I like to go a little bit wider because you're always trying to float out a hump. So what we do is load up a little mud on here, put it on. Now we don't have to get it a full 10 inches wide. If we use a 10-inch knife, that doesn't mean we're necessarily putting it on a full 10 inches. So you can see here, it's about 8 inches. Let's go ahead and extend it. It's about 9 inches. So you put that on. Again, you feather it. You can always bend these blades and then go around and feather it like this. See how that edge feathered? So feather all 4 sides. And then because you left it a little bit narrower than your knife, you can do the same basic procedure as the first coat. Lean your knife over about that far, push firmly, and then pull across like this, and see how smooth that comes out. Now there's still a little edge there, it's still a little bit thick, so let's do that again. Now if you get something like that, you can just pick it out and just go over it some more. And you're trying to coat it until you feel like you've just got it covered enough where it might show through. It's starting to show through right there, so we don't want to go any less. If you were to leave, let's see, an edge on the side or something, you can sand these out later. So if you don't get it as smooth as I am, leave it right there. Don't keep working it too much. And then I'm gonna show you how to sand it here. Okay, hey, that's really all there is to it. You see these other videos popping up, these might help you out too. But if you have any questions about this, be sure and ask me down in the comments and let me know what you think of this video. I appreciate all the comments, even if it's just to say great video. I appreciate it all. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you on that next video. Take care.